Hello at discountjuicer.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. What we're going to do today is show you my pick for the best all-purpose juicer for beginners. Now I know a lot of you guys out there may have never juiced before and you're looking at my videos to try to figure out the best juicer for you, and keep on watching because I have over 400 videos on this YouTube channel explaining and demonstrating all the different kinds of juicers and comparing them side by side so that you guys could determine the best for you. You know, and the best for you might not be the best for somebody else. Now, you know, the title of this video is, this is the best all-purpose slow juicer, you know, for beginners. And the reason why I say that is because the Slowstar Juicer by TriBest is an all-purpose machine. It literally juices things from hard vegetables to fruits to leafy greens, all fairly well. And, you know, a lot of juicers, like high-speed juicers that spin very fast, you know, may do well at hard vegetables, not great at all at the leafy greens, and so-so on fruits. It'll leave a really wet pulp. And in addition, those high-speed machines don't allow you to process other healthy foods so that you could get them in you instead of buying processed and packaged foods at the grocery store. You're thinking, John, what do you mean by that? Well, basically the Slowstar Juicer comes with this attachment here, and this attachment is called the mincing or homogenizing attachment. And what this attachment allows you to do, it allows you to take your own roasted peanuts or raw almonds, put it through there, and it grinds it up. And if there's enough oil content in the nuts, it'll congeal it together. So as in roasted peanuts, it'll make a nice peanut butter, like more of a crunchy style, not like a super smooth style. So you could actually make your own peanut butter instead of buying the ones at the grocery store that have monodiglycerides and all kinds of preservatives and who knows what else in there, right? And this attachment also allows you to make things such as fruit sorbets. So you can take 100% bananas, you know, bananas with frozen strawberries, right? And make your own ice cream-like sorbet out of 100% fruit. So I know a lot of you guys that are looking into getting a juicer are doing this for one main reason. You want to lose weight, you want to have more energy, and you want to have a greater level of health. And by not only, you know, processing fruits and vegetables and leafy greens, but also including more whole plant-based foods such as nuts and frozen fruits in your diet that the Slowstar will allow you to do, you could meet your goals. Now, another announcement I want to make really quick before I get into this video is another reason why the Slowstar Juicer is my favorite juicer for beginners is because of its price point. Plus, if you watch this video to the end, you could use one of the discount coupons mentioned at the end of this video for an additional discount to get the Slowstar at the cheapest price ever. Another reason why I think this machine is so beneficial for beginners is because this juicer will be with you throughout your health-changing new lifestyle of including more fruits and vegetables. What do I mean by that? Well, if you go down to a local department store and just buy a juicer off the shelf, right, you might get 90 days, maybe a 1-year warranty. But the Slowstar Juicer has a full 10-year warranty. So what does this mean? This means if you divide the price by 10 years, because that's how long it's guaranteed it will be operating for you, it's like $30-something a year. And then you divide that by the month, right? What is that? Like less than $3 a month. You could have a juicer, make juices in your own home, so you won't have to buy expensive $10 juices, you know, at the juice bar, or buy processed and canned and bottled juices at the store that don't contain the enzymes, that don't contain the high level of nutrients that you get out of your own fresh fruits and vegetables, whether you're buying organic or conventional at the store, or better yet, even growing them yourself. So, you know, the juicer to me is an investment, and it's an investment in the most important thing you got, right? It's an investment in your health, because I learned at a young age, without your health, you have nothing, because I almost lost my life when I was younger. And that's why I've been on a juicing program and eating a healthy fruit and vegetable-based diet now for the last 20 years. And you guys could do it too, but you need to get the appliance that is going to allow you to do this. And, you know, what I want to do in this episode really quick, you know, without getting too long, is I want to show you guys how the Slowstar juices the vegetables, such as the organic carrots. We also have some fruits, so we're going to juice some fruits to show you guys how the Slowstar juices the fruits. You're like, John, what kind of fruits are those? These are pomegranate aerials, the inside of the pomegranates. And I got a couple different kinds. I got like red aerials, pink aerials, and even some more rare white Ariels. So we're going to juice all that in the Slowstar. Then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how easy it is to change out or quickly clean the juicer in between juicing so that you don't get, carrot juice mixed in with your pomegranate Ariels. And then finally at the end of this video, I'm going to show you another versatile thing that the Slowstar Juicer can do, which is make frozen ice creams out of fruits, right? Frozen sorbets. And so I'm going to make a frozen sorbet and sample that out and show you guys how quickly and easily the Slowstar all works. So without further ado, let's get into this machine. I want to first kind of go over how this machine works because it's different than other juicers on the market. Right, this is a slow juicer. It runs at 47 RPMs or revolutions per minute, so that's very slow. A lot of juicers spin at 10,000 plus RPMs, which is really, really fast. So I mean, besides being really noisy and sounding like an airplane takeoff in your kitchen, right, because it's spinning so fast, it actually basically bombards the produce or the juice that you're making with more air, and it oxidizes it and lowers the nutrition. So that's another reason why I think, this machine, the slow juicers, are best overall, because in a recent test in test tubes they actually did a high-speed juice and a low-speed juice, and they compared them with how much kill rate they had against cancer cells, and the slow juice had 50% higher kill rate with cancer cells in the petri dish or test tube or whatever like that, right? So if you guys are doing this for your health, to build your health because you may have a certain health condition, right, I would want to have 50% more fighting ability of disease by using the slow juicer instead of the high speed one. And this slow juicer, as I said, it is the most versatile, also fairly easy to clean and really easy to use. So I mean, it's the quickest and easiest one for me to use in my kitchen, so that's why I use this style of machine. Now the other thing I want to let you guys know is that the Slowstar is a second generation vertical single auger juicer. What does that mean? Frankly, there's a lot of vertical single auger juicers on the market, but there's only 2 of them that are in production that I'm aware of that are the second generation. And this is what I mean very simply. Let's go ahead and take this guy apart really quick for you guys. What I mean by that is that, there's the auger, and this is an Ultim auger 8 times harder plastic, and this really gets in there and grinds up the produce. So literally just crushes and squeezes all the juice out, and the juice is squeezed between the screen here. And the reason why this is second generation, if you look at the bottom of the screen there, you're going to see it's just a ring, right? First generation machines will have a ring, but then there'll be like a little hole in the bottom. And if there's a hole in the bottom of the ring, that's where all the pulp has to come out of the hole. And that's a major stoppage or blockage point. So I mean, if you've read reviews on vertical slow juices and having problems with clogging and making excessive pulp in the juice and all this kind of stuff, in my opinion, that's primarily due to the hole. All the pulp has to get forced out a little tiny itty bitty hole. And no longer does that have to happen on the Slowstar juicer because there's no hole in the bottom of the screen that the pulp needs to get forced through. So it tends to work a lot better. In addition, another reason why I like the Slowstar juicer as a beginner juicer is because although I still do recommend pre-cutting things like leafy greens and celery to juice, the manufacturer has stated that you could juice things, even celery and leafy greens, without cutting in the Slowstar, without problems. And they've juiced stalks, whole heads of celery in one shot without it clogging. So, try that on a juicer that's a first generation with the hole. You're going to be pulling your hair out because it's going to clog up, it's going to jam, and it's not going to get a good yield. So yeah, let's go ahead and reassemble this guy. Very easy. There's some white dots on the top you need to line up. And then we're just going to go ahead and put the auger in, drop it in there. Then we're going to go ahead and put the top on, line the red dot up with the white dot, turn it and lock it into place, and we're all ready to juice. Another thing I like about the Slowstar is that they have made improvements over the years. They've improved some of the gaskets. So now they have red gasket material. And now they have this little handy pulp flap that the original machine did not have. So all the machines that we're now selling at discount juicers have this latest upgrade. So we're just going to go ahead and turn this machine on, and we're just going to drop in the carrots. Now, one of the things I like about the Slowstar juicer is, as you guys can see, I'm not sitting there with the pusher pushing each produce in there. The juicer is working for me, right? All I got to do is take the carrot, no matter the diameter, as long as it fits in the machine, drop it in, and it auto feeds. So this will save you guys some time instead of having to push things in. Also, this ensures that you do not overfeed the juicer. A lot of people using slow juicers use pushers, and it makes me cringe because if they're using pushers to push produce in, they may be feeding things in too fast, which may cause problems which may cause jamming, clogging, and excess of pulp in the juice because you're trying to cram stuff through the machine faster than it wants it. So as you guys can see, I'm just dropping them in, and it's accepting the carrots, and it's juicing them all up, no problem whatsoever. So right here we have about a pound of carrots, and in general a pound of carrots make about 8 ounces of juice, and I found the Slowstar makes about that yield of juice. Alright, now we're down to the last carrot. We're just going to go ahead and drop that in there and get it all juiced up. Now once you drop the last produce item in there, you're going to want to let it run a little bit. And the other thing I want to let you guys know is if you are doing combination juices, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rotate the items you're putting through. So say you're doing apples, carrots, and celery. You're going to want to put in like an apple, a celery, and a carrot, and then an apple, celery, carrot until you're all out of produce. Don't just put like all the carrots, all the celery, then all the apples. That's really not going to work good because the juicer really needs different hardnesses of the produce. So the apple's really soft, the celery's a little bit firmer, and the carrots are the hardest of them all, and that really helps push, the pulp through. So as you guys can see, we easily made about a half a cup of carrot juice. What I like to do is sometimes tip this up. We'll get a little bit more juice out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close that stopper, and we're going to go ahead and try this fresh made carrot juice for you. That's good. Now I do want to let you guys know that with a Slowstar, it gives you some pulp in the juice. Now some people like the pulp in the juice, and some people don't like the pulp in the juice. Because the Slowstar gives you this pulp in the juice automatically, you could choose to have a juice with some fiber, and some of the reports and studies I've seen says that some fiber in the juice actually keeps the juice fresher longer. And of course, if you don't like the fiber in the juice because it's a taste preference thing, the Slowstar also includes a stainless steel sieve so that you can strain out all this extra fiber. So now that we got done juicing the carrots, we're just going to go ahead and simply turn this on. I got a nice glass of water here. We're just going to go ahead and pour that through the Slowstar, and as you guys can see, it's filling up with the water there, and you don't want to fill past like about this point here. And basically that's helping cleaning it out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this guy slowly and let some of the water out. And what that's doing, that's pre-cleaning the machine, so you could do this after you're done juicing, so this makes cleanup a lot easier. It's going to get some of the debris out and push some of that extra pulp through, clean the screen a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and let the rest out, let it run a little bit more. It's really getting in there and clean it. You can see how, orange the water is. And we're going to go ahead and just let all that water come out. So this is effectively, done a simple cleaning on the machine. Now, if you were done juicing, you would now actually take this machine apart, and it would be a little bit easier to clean, now that you've ran all the water through. We're actually not done juicing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this aside, and we're going to go ahead and swap out with a new cup. Actually, let me go ahead and get some of the extra water out here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and swap out a new cup. And now what we're going to do, because we're all ready and clean, we're going to go ahead and juice our pomegranate aerials. So somebody recently asked me, John, can the Slowstar do the pomegranate aerials? So we're just going to take handfuls through there, and we're just going to dump them in. And once again, this machine is self-feeding, and you don't want to just dump them in all at once. I'm dumping in just a little bit at a time, and as you guys can see, this is juicing amazing. We're getting some nice, rich, 100% pomegranate juice. Now, if you've bought that pomegranate juice in the store, in the bottle, that stuff, it's high in antioxidants, and pomegranate juice is wonderful. Actually, that's the name, Palm Wonderful. But the problem with that stuff is that it's actually heat processed. So when you heat process any food, you lower the amount of proteins, it denatures the proteins, but more importantly for me, you're losing some percentages of the phytochemicals and phytonutrients, and you're losing 100% of the enzymes. And it's these factors in the foods, in my opinion, that are so healing for us, and that what many Americans are missing in their diets today because they just don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. I think I de-seeded about 4 or 5 pomegranates to get this amount of aerials, And I don't know if I would sit there and eat 4 or 5 pomegranates because that would take a lot of time, but I could surely, you know, put these pomegranate aerials through the machine as you guys can see, and it extracts the rich, deep colored juice. Now if you notice, the juice is not just that dark magenta color like the Palm Wonderful you get at the store, and that's because I'm also getting the benefit of the seeds. If we look at the pulp coming out, which I'll show you guys in a minute, let me go ahead and put the rest of these arrows in there. If we go ahead and look at this pulp is bone dry. That's one of the reasons why I like the Slowstar Juicer. Now I'm not going to tell you the pulp is going to be bone dry in everything you juice. I mean, if we dig over to the carrot pulp, you know, it's a little bit wetter, but it's still fairly dry. But juicing the pomegranate aerials, this stuff is bone dry. I mean, I can squeeze it, and there's like literally no moisture that comes out of this. And the reason for the color of the juice being kind of more pinkish instead of like maroon is because the Slowstar Juicer is so powerful, it's actually grinding up and pressing out the nutrition in the seeds. So you may have heard that grape seeds are really good for you, and they actually sell grapeseed extract in the supplements section. I just think you guys should eat some grape seeds and chew them up really well once in a while, because they have what's called pycnogenol, which is a very powerful antioxidant, which is anti-aging. They've done a lot of different studies on it that show it can be helpful in many different disease conditions, including things like inflammation. And so it's my opinion that the pomegranate seeds also have a lot of different nutrients, and when you extract them like this, you get the nutrients into the juice. And you know, another thing is, you know, you wouldn't want to normally eat 1 pound of carrots like I just, you know, had on the table, but you would easily be able to drink 8 cups of juice. So that's really the benefit of the juicers. It allows you to supersize, not your Coke and fries or hamburgers. It allows you to supersize your fruits and vegetables, which are the most important foods on the planet for us to eat. Alright, so now I'm much more excited to drink this delicious pomegranate juice, and I'm going to tell you how it is. Wow. It's rich, it's full-bodied. It reminds you of like drinking like a vitamin D whole milk, because it's almost kind of fatty in a way, because, you know, once again, in the seeds there's fats, and the juicer is liberating some of those fats into the juice, so you kind of get that. I mean, this juicer would also make things like nut milks. I like to make coconut milks and almond milks with this machine as well. And the other benefit of doing this and juicing the pomegranate aerials like this, unlike just sticking it on a juice press and pressing out the dark colored juice, is when you do juice the seeds, you are getting some fat content, and when you couple that fat content in with the antioxidant content of the aerials themselves, you actually get higher uptake of the antioxidants, because the fats slow down your digestive system. So wow, this stuff is amazing. You got to get this juicer just to make this Palm Wonderful drink. So now I'm back, and man, that Palm juice was so wonderful. That's like completely insane. I just drank all of that. It's so good. It was like really rich and thick. So good. I can't believe like more people don't make palm juice like that. They just press out the aerials and make the magenta, you know, thin juice. Anyways, what I want to show you guys next, actually another way the Slowstar Juicer can benefit you and your family so that you guys can eat healthier, right? One of the things I don't want you guys to eat is ice creams, and they have so many different monodiglycerides and corn syrup and artificial flavors and preservatives that are not good for you guys. And so one of the best things about the Slowstar, that as I mentioned before, you could use the mincing attachment or homogenizing attachment to process your own foods. You know, grind coffee beans into coffee if you want to. You know, process your own nuts into nut butters. But more importantly, the best thing to do with this attachment is to process frozen fruits into sorbet. So we have a couple frozen bananas here and a whole bunch of frozen strawberries. Now I froze these strawberries and bananas myself from fresh ones. So when you get the bananas, you could go to the store and get the ones that are in the bag. They're usually like half price because they're overripe. The ones that have spots on them, those are the ones you want to buy because they're really sweet, because all the sugar starts to come out when they get really ripe, right? You buy those, you take them home, you peel them, you put them in like a Ziploc bag or a glass container in your freezer. they'll get frozen hard. And make sure you peel them first, right? Because you're not peeling them once they're frozen. Then you're going to have these guys. Oh, you hear that, man? My head's hollow. No, okay. So, yeah, then you got frozen fruit, right? And now, I mean, it wouldn't be too fun to eat this frozen banana unless maybe it was dipped in chocolate. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because chocolate's not really a health food. But what you can do is you can put it in the machine. The machine will literally grind it up. It is so powerful. It'll make it like that frozen, you know, yogurt consistency that we're used to when we were a kid and go to McDonald's. I mean, at least I went to McDonald's when I was a kid and got frozen yogurt out of the machine and whatnot, and a frozen soft serve, right? And you can make your own frozen soft serve out of 100% fruit, which is 100% healthier than ice cream and anything else that you're buying at the store. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you guys this, because this is just one of the coolest things, and especially if you got kids, you want to get them involved, let them pick out the frozen fruits, whether you're going to freeze it yourself or just go to a big box store like Costco or Sam's Club and they have frozen fruits in big like 4-pound packages for super cheap. And all different kinds, you know, papayas, pineapples, mangoes, you know, bananas, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, yum berries, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this stuff. So what we're going to do is I like to rotate, so we'll put a couple frozen strawberries in there. As you guys can see, it's crushing up the strawberries. I'll take a piece of banana, you know, and then I'll put a strawberry, piece of banana. We'll take a strawberry, piece of banana, strawberry, and keep rotating this, right? I really kind of like to put like more banana than strawberry because the banana will really give it that like creamy richness without adding any kind of fat to it, and the strawberries and other fruits may not make it as creamy and delicious. Alright, so as you guys can see, it's still processing all the bananas and the sorbet there, and we got it all coming out right here. Wow, that's a lot of delicious sorbet. Now you could top this with like some nuts, or even like, you know, I don't know, I think it'd actually be good if I saved some of that pomegranate juice and topped it over this. I think that'd be really, really delicious. Let's go ahead and turn that off. So yeah, so we turned this frozen fruit into a delicious sorbet. We're gonna go ahead and try that for you guys. It's nice, and now instead of being all like hard, it's really soft. Melt in your mouth. Aside from being a bit cold, it's, wow, these strawberries are amazing. It's amazing how good fruits and vegetables can taste when processed with the Slowstar Juicer. So, I mean, basically, in a nutshell, the Slowstar Juicer is my favorite pick as an all-purpose machine for people that they don't know what they want to juice. They want to juice fruits, they want to juice vegetables, they want to juice leafy greens. The Slowstar is a good all-around performer at juicing, but also processing frozen fruits and nuts, and even processing eggplant into raw eggplant chicken in the dehydrator. And I've processed my cabbage, run it through here to make sauerkrauts. I mean, the uses are endless with this mincing attachment. Oh, one of the things we like to do in here is make salsas in here. And sometimes instead of eating a salad, I'll just process it through the Slowstar with the mincing attachment to mash it all up to make literally a ground up salad for those of you guys that don't want to chew as much. So yeah, so that's why I really like the Slowstar. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, from November 1st all the way through December 31st, we will be offering the Slowstar at $50 off its normal price. So be sure to order it between now and then. And if you're thinking about getting this for a friend, relative, or whatever as a gift, you guys should definitely get one now, because the prices are going to go up come next year when everybody wants to lose weight for the first, you know, the New Year's resolution thing. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, hey, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know. I'll make more videos in the future with the Slowstar and all the other juicers that I love to use in my lifestyle each and every day. And also be sure to check my past episodes. I have over 400 episodes comparing all different kinds of juicers so that you guys can select the right juicer for you. Because, you know, the one thing I know is that there is a right juicer for you, and you just need to determine what that is. And that's why I make these videos, so that you guys could figure it out, because I am a juicing expert, in my opinion. I spend every day with these machines, day in, day out. I go to factories, see how they're made, and trade shows and to keep up all the latest stuff, right? So the last thing I like to mention today before I go is that if you enjoyed this video, please support me in my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. That goes so that I can continue this work to make these educational videos on YouTube. I have over 1,900 videos on YouTube now educating people on a variety of topics, and your support helps make that possible. So thank you for those of you guys that have supported me in the past, and thank you for those of you guys that will support me in the future by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. So once again, my name is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do today is we're going to do a good old-fashioned juice off between two Omega products. We got the